Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
Bienvenidos al podcast DSQ. Esta semana estamos en la Ciudad de Mexico. Welcome, everyone, to the Mexico City Grand Prix. That's 2 years of Spanish finally paid off for one joke.
Gracias.
I give up. Hello, everybody. It was a Grand Prix this week.
It was, and we're a day late because of FIA solely.
Yeah, peel back the screen here a little bit. Usually we wait until they post the classification, like the final classification, to do anything, because Lord knows as soon as I go to write stuff down, they're going to say, someone got DSQ'd, and we have to change literally everything in that writing. Like, I have to go to a new page and everything, and it's annoying. So I usually wait, and got to about 9 o'clock last night. They still hadn't done it, and I was like, well, I guess I need to write this down now. By then, it would have been way too late, so.
Yep. Our podcast, editing, uploading, would have been grumpy. And today was bad enough as it was, so being no sleep would have been bad. So, anyway, still no final classification out, though, so.
Yeah, as of the current time of 9:40 on Monday, no final classification.
So, thanks, FIA.
Doing a great job.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure that they were out of the city first.
Yep. And they didn't make it out all the way. That's why they still haven't.
Yeah, the person who does all the typing is left behind.
But Mexico City officially.
Yeah, not Mexico this year. It is Mexico City, because apparently the city actually chipped in a good chunk of the funding for it this year, as opposed to just Mexico.
So, very important, even though a lot of the signs wasn't updated, but it'll work.
Yeah.
A little bit of the pre stuff, of course, still recovering from Austin a little bit. McLaren had a right to review of the penalty. It was rejected, even though it was technically rejected after FP wanted to, but we'll just cover it all now. Grounds of not supplying sufficient evidence to actually, or new evidence, quote, to actually carry out the review, so nothing there. Same thing with, let's just go ahead and talk about it, with the penalties for Max, even though, because we all know what's happening, also we're going to try to keep this episode short. Even though, Christian did his whole little thing, he brought out the iPad, he had it printed out of why it shouldn't have been a penalty. They're probably not going to ask for the review because they're saving things going to happen, so whatever. Anyway, FIA consistency, we'll get there.
Yeah, no, FIA does have consistency with the right to review. It's always a no.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen one yet that's been, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, not too much. Lots of special helmets. Only one livery, and it's a little bit, someone just spilled a little bit of yellow paint on top of the Williams engine cowling.
I liked it. It was nice. That's a little bias showing, but I liked it. I did like it.
Yeah. Didn't do well for him.
No, didn't get to see a whole lot of that yellow cowling. Got to see a whole lot of it at the start.
Yeah. A lot of some V-carb too. We'll get there. Yeah, that's it was a frustrating race for us.
Yeah, very frustrating. Like off rip. Ugh. Speaking of off rip, let's get to upgrades. Nothing coming from Sauber, Haas, Mercedes, Aston Martin, or Alpine this week. I'll get there eventually. A few circuit-specific minor upgrades. From
AKA cooling, and more cooling.
Yeah, pretty much. Red Bull, Williams, Ferrari, and AlphaTauri. And then McLaren had like the biggest change with a quote-unquote heavily revised floor. So, good for them. For the component changes, restricted number components. Let's see, Lance Stroll had his fourth of each component. Same with Fernando Alonso, so both Aston Martin drivers. And then Leclerc and Zhou both took their fifth of 5 of both. So they are at their limit. Zhou definitely is. Leclerc's past his limit. That was 3 years ago. For power units, Sainz took his 6th of 8 exhaust systems. Ocon took his 8th, so he might be our very first penalty for exhaust systems, which is slightly insane. He also, good job me. I put Ocon takes new, and then left it as blank to fill in later because it was, I think when we were eating breakfast and I didn't have access to like the full notebook, and just said that I would do it later, and so I put Ocon takes new, starts from pit lane. So he took some new engine components as well, a couple of new power unit stuff. So yeah,
I think it was a battery store.
I think it was as well, and
and other battery components.
Was it also like over his limit as well, or no?
Yes, it was also over the limit.
Okay,
so
but the pit lane takes priority over those penalties, so he starts from the pit lane. So yeah, that's our upgrades for the week.
And testing those, we had quite a few rookies. Once again, we are definitely fast approaching the end of the season. Of course, this upcoming week is yet another sprint race. So with the one FP session, you're not going to have... I mean, maybe you run a rookie. I don't know.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, maybe maybe it's Ollie. It's like, it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter. Like, he's already like done like 7 sessions. Because he did another one. He was with Ferrari today. Not today. For FP1. Filling in for Charles, as well as Kimi Antonelli doing his second, filling in for Lewis this time. Pato Award, a hometown boy, fills in for Lando. Robert Schwartzman, we'll get to this, filling in for Joe and doing, I don't know. I don't know if he did better or not. And then Felipe Drovic. I feel like I always take out 2 syllables in his name.
It's just
Drugovic. Filling in for Mr. 400 races, Fernando Alonso this weekend. So yeah, those are your rookies.
The Chekhov's gun loaded.
Yep. That's all. We should just rename the podcast for season 2. Chekhov's F1.
Chekhov's F1.
Chekhov's power unit. But yeah, so the rookies definitely having some problems. Along with a not-so-rookie Alex Albon, FP1.
Pain.
Do you want to go over this one since it's your boy, or
No. You go ahead and take the bite out of this one. I'll take the other.
Gotcha. Yep. Going into turn, which I failed to note. Ollie offline, definitely slow. Gets the warning. Goes a little, and here's the point I'm definitely going to make. He was like, basically, his tires were off the track. I don't know if there was any more else out of the way he could get that was not just in the grass. Alex comes around, and all of them kind of struggling for grip because, high altitude is the word I'm looking for. So definitely lots, especially in FP1. Pull up. No. We're not launching the aviation podcast yet. It's only a matter of time. It's going to happen, I'm sure.
Like when we do.
It's called APU1. Yeah. Loses the back end. I don't think it's that big of a hit with Ollie. I think he really kind of suspension, lost the tire, and then into the wall. Brings out a good red flag, and that's his first crash of the race or of the weekend.
What do you mean first?
Did we already load that gun? I don't know.
No, that one's now loaded.
As well as I forgot to note it. Let's talk about Robert Schwartzman. Let's go ahead and fire that one.
First of the guns. Let's go.
Joining a club. What is that club?
That club is the racers who have penalties that will not be serving them.
Yep. Along with F1 TV lead analyst Jillian Palmer. Or is it Jensen with Sky? Which one has it? Now
I feel like it's Palmer.
Okay, I thought it was Palmer too. That was my first thing, but I don't know. Maybe it's both of them. I think it's Hakkinen too.
It could be both. Definitely Mika Hakkinen.
Yeah. So he gets a 5 place for impeding, but of course he definitely does not have a seat next year. So I mean,
who knows? Maybe Toro Rosso wants to just take a bet on Robert Schwartzman of all people.
I'll say, but he did race under the team that's still technically, well, we say that Toro Rosso still has the seat open, but yeah, technically there's still 2 seats up for grabs, but it really feels like there's nothing up for grabs. Yeah, so 5-place penalty for if he ever participates in a Formula One race. Yep, and that was it. Oh no, it was not it. Sorry, Max Verstappen. Power unit failings did not sound good.
Fun.
Yeah. Don't worry. They replaced the engine, but it was from the already allocated pool, so he did not take any penalties. But yep. It did proceed to go ahead and lead into FP2. Those issues did go back, follow him into FP2 and more issues, so they did switch that engine after FP2. Again, to a previously used engine, so because he's definitely at the limit. He's been at the limit for like 6 races. So
I mean, probably took all of his engines up front. That way he can just cycle through them throughout the end of the year. It's a common strategy.
Williams wishes they had enough money to have multiple engines in the works at once. I think Logan and Alex have gone through them all, though. Gearboxes, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know about the actual PUs, but... Oh, man. FP2, a little fun one. 90-minute long-ass session. Because we had everybody's favorite Pirelli tire test time.
Woohoo! Tire testing!
P-triple-T. Pirelli tire test time. TT. Not TTT.
Wait, whoa. Whoa!
That's a long history thing, which we will not get into. If we ever get big enough to a Q&A.
Yeah. That
go back 15 years.
That will be one more comfortable answering that. Jeez. Yeah.
We
Maybe by then the trauma will heal.
I don't know. It's pretty deep scars. But yep, so mandated, I believe they said it was basically next year's medium tire was what the test was, according to Alex and Julian.
Okay.
Of course, not representative, and they had to run exactly what Pirelli tell them to run, so we didn't really learn much, just 30 minutes extra of running, which George Russell took away mostly with the red flag. I did not put a time, but George Russell into the wall. Another one, which seems to be common this year, of like it not looking like a super heavy impact on camera, but enough to trigger the health protocols. And it never saw it live, but apparently he got out, quote, out of the car gingerly.
Gingerly. Okay. Seems like a George Russell way of getting out normally,
Dipping ginger root into his spotted tea.
The tea.
British
what,
jokes.
Are we Sheffield?
But of course, nothing bad. They rebuilt the car. I feel like the rear ring was definitely screwed. So definitely had to take a new rear ring. Luckily, they had the spec. So, I mean, it would have been FP2, so it wouldn't matter if they changed spec anyway. Who am I thinking of on that then? I don't know.
I think it's the FP3 now, because it used to be quali.
Oh, I was trying to read ahead of I thought someone had the thing, but it may have been. But yeah, I think you're right. End of FP3. No, I thought it was when they leave the pit. I think we've been over this in the podcast.
Yes, we have.
It's been forever ago.
We're still stupid. Just so we're aware, we're still stupid Americans.
Still stupid. But yeah, only other FP2 note is Yuki P3. Let's go! Woo! It's going to be represented for the weekend. I'm sure it'll do great in the race. Yeah. Foreshadowing.
It is a literary device.
Also, I see a cat that's about to make a lot of noise. I see 2 cats that are about to knock over a lot of stuff, so if you hear that in the background.
It'll be fine.
FP3. Just go past it. That's a good cut point if we need to. FP3, again, I feel like this weekend wasn't a whole lot, really. Like, it was kind of just happened. FP3, Liam does a spinny boy.
Whee.
And then the Ferrari mechanic also does a fucking flip in the middle of the pit lane as he's going to take, I believe it was Charles, because he goes, I can't remember what the actual quote was. Something in a language that's not American.
Italian?
I'm assuming Italian, but it could have also been French. I don't know.
Could be
Same thing.
Italian, could be French, could be Monegasque.
Yeah.
Which is French plus.
French plus. But yeah, good little thing. He's all good. Everybody's safe. For now. But yeah, that was literally the highlight, was the mechanic doing a little flip as he's trying to pull Charles out of the garage. Or give the signal. Just, I don't know if he lost. I don't see what he tripped on. So, nothing that should have been on a foot or on a tire. Tripped on another mechanic's foot, I'm being told. His own foot? Jesus Christ. Roll the clown song.
That's just the national anthem of Italy.
Well, we won't hear that this weekend. On to qualifying. Not as eventful qualifying for Q1 or Q2 at least. Just people going out's the biggest thing. With that being, in our Q1, our new favorite Argentinian Colapinto. Fortunately, Esteban Ocon, which I put as OLO because my handwriting's awful, and Zhou Guan Yu. Those two, yeah. Both, and I meant to lead this podcast with, I'm so sick. We need material. Yes, I'm going to rip on Lando, but enough with the Checo slander. Like, it's not even, like, he may deserve a good chunk of it, but get new material at least. Like, just, Checo shit is not good enough argument anymore.
I mean,
Even
I
if
saw
he
one
was
today,
kind of
that
shit
was
this
pretty
week.
funny.
But yeah, Oscar Piastri and Checo out Q1. Oscar breaking, unfortunately, ending his record of perfect Q3s of the season.
He's no longer Mr. Saturday.
Nope. And Checo just, unfortunately, at his home race where he really did need a good weekend, basically starting back of the pack.
Yep.
I said there was nothing much in Q2. I forgot. I thought it was in Q3. Q2. Hey, Yuki, that P3 you got? Sad Japanese noises. Yuki crashes out. 10 seconds left, so everybody on their last-minute flyer screws Yuki over, unfortunately. Screws Liam over a little bit, unfortunately. They're out. Also, Alonso sucks again, his 400th GP weekend. That sucks. Stroll, yeah, whatever. And Valtteri, who we really, really wanting to do something this season.
Please, you're so close to greatness.
And our Q3, again, Max tried, didn't have a good lap, but he didn't, wasn't any yellow or reds that screwed him over this week, just didn't have the fastest car. Your poll goes to the wrong kind of Spanish for the weekend, I think, even though they still supported him. Carlos Sainz. So I have this written as 2 and then like the greater than arrow, but it looks like a 7. And it's Max. So you could say that's a G. I was like 27, which would not be K. Magnussen, but Nico Hulkenberg, P2. No, it's Max Verstappen. And 3, little
Lando Norris.
Hope he doesn't bottle it. Let's see. And then you can take the start of the GP because that's the first note, and I don't want to talk about it. You said you take the other one.
I do have my first note.
Unless there's something in between that.
I have my first note for as the start of the GP. It's lights out and away we go, and pain.
And away we go.
Away we go. Of course, the first straight rundown to to turn 1 on Mexico City is very long, so plenty of time for people to make moves, and make moves they sure did try to. God, was it Yuki sending it on Alex, or was it Alex sending it on Yuki? I think it was Yuki sending it on Alex.
It's definitely sending it on Alex.
Okay.
He was on the outside. The argument of should he been given space, I'll let people make, I won't. It's an incident as much as I want it to be Alex's fault as a Yuki fan. It's just nothing, just an incident.
It is an incident. Yuki goes to send it on the outside. Alex is sitting in the middle of the track. he has nowhere to go because he's got the Alpine of, I believe, Pierre Gasly on his right-hand side.
And then Lance Stroll behind that. And that's
Yeah.
just already a recipe. He was already in danger.
Exactly. So there's nowhere for Alex to go. He's stuck in the middle of the track. Yuki cuts in a little sharp, expecting Alex to be able to move over to the apex. He can't. Wheel to wheel. Yuki spins off in the corner.
Yuki's
Alex
tire goes to fucking Interlagos early.
Yeah, it's just gone.
That fucker was gone.
It's just like his tire was mad at Alex, tried to track him down.
Yep.
Alex makes it a few more turns down the road
Turn
and
7
then
is what
parks
ended.
up. So technically, Alex finishes slightly higher than Yuki, even though DNF. But for the purposes of putting them in an order, slightly higher than Yuki. But they both DNF. Lap 1, turn 1.
So both our drivers are out. Hopefully,
That's the Grand Prix.
the other person who lives in this house, their favorite driver, Checo, surely he's going to have a great start. He has a great start. He told himself he had a great start. So great that it was a false start, apparently, and he gets a 5-second
They're
penalty.
looking at us for a false start. This wasn't a false start. It was
It was
a
a
great
great
start.
Which is an iconic line and it's fantastic. I saw
Absolutely.
the Photoshop meme of Obama giving Obama the
Yeah.
just
Was
Checo.
giving Checo the medal. Yep.
definitely
saw that
the
too.
meme of the week.
That is fantastic.
We're coming
Meme of
after
the
you.
week. Oh.
Yeah, that's our first meme of the week. Suddenly, didn't even talk about it. So yep, so great start, and then as much as I, you know how I feel about Lando Norris. He was right. We all knew something was going to happen there. And the shenanigans begin, and a 10-second penalty for Max. And hey, what's that? You'll fucking do it again? And another 10-second penalty for Max Verstappen.
Sir, there's been a second 10-second penalty.
Oh, God. That's going to get us the mark on there for that one.
Ah.
They don't know what we're talking about. It's a whole bunch of Europeans listening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll laugh at it.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are making those jokes in the first place. That's funny, because so are we.
Yeah. But yeah, so 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, and a 10-second penalty for forcing another driver off the track. This is why I kind of like that we did delay this one a day a little bit, because I feel like we're kind of like recovered from it now. Like, if you want my pure hatred and like no research hot takes, go follow me on Twitter, because that's all it is me screaming about either the Leafs, the Stars, or F1, or local politics.
Don't follow me on Twitter, because once again, I am like very soon getting rid of that. I need to look into getting a Blue Sky set up, but at the very least, I have Mastodon. So follow me on there for nothing. I don't post.
I was like, even if I don't ever post on the podcast
Yeah.
Twitter, because it's like I don't really. And I think I put that as a pin tweet. It's like Instagram, website, Instagram. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, consistency is something we don't have, so we can't. I feel like we can't even comment on it because we're like, what? We're comparing it to last week. Completely different. The same but different.
Exactly.
We got 10-second penalties or whatever. Compared to a 5 and 1, and yeah, I don't know. I had the brain cell to understand this one, so.
Yeah.
20-second penalty. 24-second flat stop. And I think we were sitting there counting it, and I think they actually served like 21-second penalty. Yep. So I think they had a 3-second pit stop.
Now, granted, I did not stopwatch it. I just went off of my own counting, which I've found to be fairly accurate. I can usually pin a minute within 1 second of it, but I think they did one over.
But hey, play it safe, because that penalty. I think we debated that during the race too. Is like, does Max just be like, fuck it,
yeah,
and just add 30 seconds to the end and just fucking go?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like honestly that should have been the play.
Yeah. But gets in 24-second, cuts through the field because it's Max, so he's still ahead. Not podium, not ahead of Lando with a particular race, but overall still ahead. Fernando, 400 race Fernando.
Well, lap 15, Nando decides to retire. The car. Nando retires the car.
Yeah, or his mechanics decide to retire the car.
Fair enough. Apparently, another object stuck in a radiator duct or something similar It's probably a tear-off. It's always a tear-off. They've got to come up with something.
Well,
I get it.
That's the thing. Martin Brundle's always going off on how, I had to put it in a little fanny pack or something.
Yeah.
Let's bring that back. Because, I mean, like, I feel like 2 laps later, they show, like, Max and whoever he was by at that point. Like, you see 2 tear-offs just go flying past them.
Exactly.
But
I get it. It's fast racing. You don't have a lot of time to reach up and deal with it in the first place. Surely there's some solution that can be made.
and I get it. It seems very frustrating to put I mean, in racing gloves going at the slowest, like 20 miles over highlight speed. Like, I get putting a thin little piece of probably a little bit sticky plastic as it into something is going to be very frustrating. Or also, oh hey, sock three, brake balance, stuff like that. So I get that it's probably frustrating, but yeah, if it's going to cause damage to people, so like being retired on first versus 430 doesn't matter because there's a piece of plastic in a brake duct.
Damaging to the equipment. It's also littering. They're literally littering. Yeah. It's like some of these places are street circuits. They are littering on the streets of these places. It's documented on camera. Give them tickets.
So you see a police.
Police F1 car.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Safety car.
I'll,
Car on track.
I'll leave that for another day. No.
Cat, no.
I don't need you sound mixing.
I was like, I did cut out the actual impact, but I leave the reference that we did have a dog jump on the little table that's holding our microphone and mixer setup. I did cut out because it was very much, a not shock. Our mics have shock mounts, but they're internal and not the best. So it helped a little bit. Also, that's my chair. Sorry, we're in a slightly different configuration today. Where I'm actually in my annoying office chair. Anyway. Yeah, stop littering. That goes to everybody. You're not an F1 driver. Stop littering. More racing. Liam and Checo really going at it like it's like they're fighting for the second Red Bull seat or something.
Yeah, it'd be so weird for them to be battling like that. Like, what?
Couple pushes here and there. If I didn't think it was bad, so okay, cool. Checo floor damage and side pod damage. So that really hurts his already kind of bad race, and he does serve his 5-second penalty as well on a pit stop. So there was one outstanding penalty, but it did basically come after the race.
Yeah.
So, yep, they're fighting.
Lap or two later.
Yep.
Checo's battling it out with Stroll now.
Oh God. One of them has a guaranteed seat forever, and it's and it's not the one that should.
Yeah, exactly.
I have some angry Lando notes. It's my next one.
Not.
Yeah, that's all the notebook is. It's a manifesto, really. But yeah, lots of racing between Lawson and Checo and Colapinto and Liam.
The whole midfield pack, basically.
Liam, which I guess we do, like, I wasn't sure at first, but I guess we have kind of gone over that. Lawson flipping off Checo as passing him. Definitely not a good look for your drivers in general. And then for Liam, like, do you want to come in to be the good racer or do you want to come in to be like the anti-hero?
I mean, let's be honest, though. Is that anything different than how Yuki came to the scene? Just 5-second long bleeps whenever the radio pops up?
Yeah. But it's different.
Oh, but it's different.
No. It wasn't directly to anybody. He was just cursing in general.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I actually gave Lawson the benefit of the doubt because to me it looked like he was pointing, like, "Oh shit, sorry," or "Oh hey, you're damaged." I was like, "Oh no, he okay? Yeah, nope, he's flipping him off," which I thought wasn't a thing overseas and stuff, but I guess no.
No, they absolutely do.
Yeah, Simon Cowell lied to us back in the day. He just wanted to get away with flipping off on national television. So the note I had that's angry, which I'll calm down and say was. Mercs are racing each other, which kind of made everybody, both them and people behind, not be able to catch Lando. So that was my kind of note, is them racing was like, kind of holding up the pack a little bit and holding themselves up of that. Then we get to Charles Leclerc running in. Now, thing we haven't mentioned is Carlos Sainz, because Carlos Sainz is just
Down the road.
yeah. This is Carlos's race. He's won. Spoiler: Carlos wins. Charles Leclerc. We're trying to go for a back-to-back Ferrari 1-2. Swapping positions, but hey, it works. Whatever. Goes into the final turn. Catches just a little bit offline. And as I put it, Lando fucking pushes him off, which isn't true at all. He just loses it, goes off. Easy, just through goes Norris. So
That sucks. I hated
sucks.
seeing that. I was, ugh.
But really doesn't do much. That's it. He does, and I guess there was some stuff where Fred was talking about both Fred and I had it up to here with Zach Brown, by the way. Like, I'm so sick of his bullshit. I do want to rant on his little photobomb thing. I don't think it was cute. I think he was being an obnoxious jackass.
They all do it.
Yeah, but
Like, specifically those two. It was like, Fred has...
I know Fred and Zach are kind of... I like Fred's buddies with everybody. It's like Toto's over here showing more emotion than
Yeah.
to anybody.
I was like, yes, they're friends with each other, but I was like, Fred does that with literally every group. Like, he'll go in on the winning squad and photobomb them. Like, it's a thing that he does, and so Zach Brown's just returning the favor.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just sick of him.
I mean, fair. No, completely unrelated. Yeah, no, Zach Brown's just... I don't want any more chicken fried.
Yeah. Or cold beer on a Friday or Saturday night. My jeans fit fine. The radio is on. I think that's all I know. Well, there's the patriotic stuff in there.
That's
but
all
hey.
you really need, yeah.
But yeah, so your podium is Ferrari with signs. Are you signaling something here?
No.
Okay.
I'm just 1,
You're
2,
going
and
on.
3.
And then, yep, Lando with his little, not last minute, but pretty late, opportunity given to him. And then Charles managing to at least hold his race. Oh, I skipped the point I was saying when talking about those guys because I went on my rant. Talking both Zach and Fred talking about back markers were not necessarily getting out of the way as fast as they probably should have. I think Fred says that cost Charles a whole second of back markers. So maybe some stuff to look at there. When 8 of your 20 cars are not, or 12 of your 20 cars are lapped. Well, 10 of your remaining 18 cars are lapped. It's kind of hard to avoid.
Yeah.
So,
That's racing.
they'll
for
have
ya.
their big meeting in Qatar or whatever, and blah blah blah, and
be held hostage until they agree to
Yep.
the terms that the FIA wants.
which I'll remind you, Qatar also a sprint race. So,
Why can't we have anything nice in this world?
oh man, all right, that's the race.
That is the race.
Oh yeah, we're gonna joke of like, and turn 1. Okay, that's the race.
Yeah.
And then we went into it because we're good podcasters. We're okay podcasters.
We're
talk about
podcasters.
Yeah.
Driver of the day.
Driver of the day.
I voted K-Mag because holy shit, K-Mag and P7, AO. But yeah, no, eh.
Yeah. I voted Carlos because he ran it.
That's
It
fair.
was his race.
It was definitely his
Definitely
race. Your winner was Carlos Sainz with 27.2% of the vote. The other contenders are Lando Norris with 12.3%, Max Verstappen with 9.2%, Franco Colapinto with 8.1%, he was in third for a little bit there, Charles Leclerc with 7.4%, and all others receiving 35.8% of the vote. Your fastest lap belongs to Charles Leclerc, which that is something we forgot to mention.
No, I just realized because I have Franco's penalty and then the fastest lap of Palooza after my driver of the day stuff because I ran out of paper.
So it's very much a scramble towards the end for fastest laps. I was like, Franco once again had it for a little bit, and
then fucking Esteban Ocon again.
Esteban Ocon, and then
For some
it was
fucking
just a
reason.
scramble for like, all right,
And then Lando.
box for her fastest lap. Yeah, Lando got it. Charles's team told him to box for fastest lap for like lap 69, 70.
Yeah. Checo also went for it, and so
Yeah.
did Liam.
Just fucking yeah, Checo box for fastest lap attempt.
Yeah.
Definitely attempt.
And not even shitting on Checo there because he had
He had
damage.
damage.
He had damage.
Like damage. Like not just the side pod was damaged, but like You could definitely see parts fly out from underneath his vehicle the 2 times he went over the curb. Insane. Charles Leclerc, lap 71, so last lap of the race, with a 1:18.336. So yeah, extra point for Charles.
I have .366. So which one of us is dyslexic?
Yes.
Which one of us did it?
I mean, that's very fair.
No, I don't care if it's right or not. I thought it was funny that it's different.
We're nothing if not factual here on the DSQ podcast.
100% factual. Lando sucks. Factual, 100% researched.
Peer-reviewed. Hi, peer. Does Lando suck?
Yeah. We
are the peers. Wow, my phone is taking forever to pull that up, so I'm going to continue on while I wait for that to load. Your pit stops. Your fastest pit stop of the race went to McLaren, with Oscar Piastri's stop on lap 39 of 1.90 seconds. Your slowest pit stop.
Wait. I can guess. Was it Max Verstappen with 24 seconds?
If I counted the damage / penalties, it would be. It absolutely would be. Yeah. He had a 24.05.
It was that half second. What did him?
Yeah, it was that half. Yeah, or that half a tenth of a second. Perez had an 8-second even pit stop, and Lawson with the front wing damage had a 10.41 second pit stop. But disregarding them, the slowest actual on merit pit stop belonged to Williams, with Franco Colapinto's stop on lap 47 of 4.45 seconds. Fun.
Damn. Speaking of Franco, again, one thing we forgot. He did have a 10-second penalty for causing collision.
I did write that at the very end, and I put a little angry face because I was upset by that.
But he had more than 10 seconds, so it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, it really didn't do anything.
I don't even remember who it was. Was it Liam as well? I feel like it was also Liam.
I think it was also Liam.
I feel like, yeah. I'm noticing a pattern. I think it's Liam.
I think it's Liam, and I think he hates people that speak Spanish.
Yes.
By the way, it is, unfortunately for you, it is you that is dyslexic.
Gotcha.
It is a 1.18 or 118.336.
Or no. Or a multi-viewer was dyslexic.
I mean, that is very true. It could absolutely be that. But yeah. I'm going to swing really quickly into battles and the rundown, or battles then stars then the rundown. How do we do that? We didn't write it this week.
I feel like rundown is usually last.
Rundown is last. All right. Battles, stars, then rundown. Battles I kind of condensed a little bit this week because...
But that doesn't make sense because battles usually kind of goes into the rundown. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. This is a different format every week, so... Welcome to the very professional DSQ podcast. Very professional, very factual. So for your battles, put down the top 5 and then a few others that are all close together. Your top 5 are still Max, Lando, Charles, Oscar, and Carlos. Of note, per this race, Carlos Sainz is out of the race.
Oh no!
For
Even for winning
by 2 points.
Oh damn!
He has 240, or actually technically by 3 because he would have to win it on point values alone. The point cutoff is 242. He has 240. So even with that, I did notate for each of these. So Max in P1 is in... Well, he's in first place. He has 362 points. I once again wrote down wins and just P2 places this time. So he has 7 wins and 4 P2s. He can win currently regardless of where everyone else finishes. So like Lando could win every remaining race, and Max could place 3rd or better in every sprint race and race except one sprint race. He would have to finish at least 2nd in it, and he would win. Otherwise, Lando is at 315. He has 3 wins and 6 P2s, so if it comes to a countback, he will win by points or countback. Charles Leclerc has 3 wins as well, but he only has 2 P2s, so if it comes to countback, Max would win, so he has to win by points. And then Oscar Piastri sitting in 4th with 251 can only win by points.
How many wins does he have?
Oscar has 2 wins.
Okay.
2 wins and 4 P2s, but it will not matter.
So Lando has 3 wins, and Oscar has 2 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And Lando's been racing for how? I'm not going to get into it.
You got to let it go at some point, man. You got to let it go.
Nope.
Yeah.
What does fans do?
Oh, I'm sure. All right, and then I also tacked in the 13th, 14th, and 15th places. While they're not battling for much, there's little bragging rights in there. Kevin Magnussen jumps up 2 places in the standings. He was P15 last week, tied, I believe, with Daniel, but is now P13. He is at 14 points, and he is 22 back from Yuki Tsunoda. So another few good races. Your boy could be dethroned. Because it doesn't look like Yuki wants to put up much of a fight, does it, Dakota?
Well, if some Alex driver didn't decide to fucking cut a corner, let's pinch him off.
Shit! He was in the middle of the track. Anyways, fight for a different day.
All the time you
All
must
the
leave the
time.
space.
Alex is 2 points behind Kevin, and Daniel is tied with Alex. So, yeah, 12 points for both of them. For the Constructors' battle, McLaren is currently your P1 with 566 points. Ferrari moves up into P2 at 537 points. They are 29 points down, so they are very much in striking distance for the championship for that, which I'll get to that stat here in a minute. Red Bull sitting at P3 at 512, or 25 points down. That is all of your teams that can make the championship. No one else can. Actually, no, I stand corrected on that, because I did put that Merc is technically still in it, but they are like very close to not being in it, and I didn't bother writing them down, which is funny because they're the only team that I didn't write down.
Nice.
They are guaranteed 4th or better, because Aston Martin has 86 points to Mercedes like 366, I think it is.
So you're saying there's not a chance.
There's not a chance. Aston Martin's guaranteed 5th or lower at 86 points. Haas is sitting at 46 points in 6th place. Toro Rosso is
46.
Toro Rosso is sitting
never mind, sorry.
in P7 with 36 points. Williams is sitting in P8 with 17 points. Alpine sitting in P9 with 14 points, so only 3 behind. Alpine did score a point this week. Alpine scored a point.
Pierre Gasly scored a point this week, let's be honest.
But he races for Alpine, so Alpine scored a point this week. Good for them. And then Sauber.
Yeah.
So on to stars. Yeah, Sauber's still sitting at 0. Just a point. Just a point.
Valtteri was running in points for a little bit, but
He was. I was very impressed.
doesn't matter when you're driving a Sauber, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, again, squeaky chair this day. Stars.
Preds.
No, that's December. That's after F1 season, so we don't have to worry about any podcasts that weekend.
Very true.
So my 3rd star comes to the rant, and you know what this rant is. My 3rd star is Haas for their double points finish. This will be the last time I give Haas a star for finishing 2 cars in the points, because they are doing it consistently. I need to see improvement. I need to see a podium. So Haas, if you want to continue getting a star for just getting in the points, sorry, it's not good enough anymore. You've done it. Congratulations. You've made it. You played yourself. So this will be your last star, unless you get Nico a podium. If you get K-Mag a podium, actually, first, that'd be funny as fuck.
Right?
Yeah. Haas, another good finish. So make it better, though.
My 3rd star, and I will never get tired of giving Haas stars. Haas MoneyGram F1 team. Oh, wow. Just wow. Super impressive drive from these two this week. They finished in the points, and I went to see if it was actually the team's job with pit stops and everything like that. Their pit stops were both 3 seconds or longer, so no, it was not. It was definitely the two drivers.
They did not help at all. In fact, they did not. They
probably
made it worse.
hindered a little bit. Yep. But yeah, both of them finished within the points. What else is there to say? It does narrow the gap between themselves and Aston Martin, which, if they were to do better than Aston Martin, finish P5, that would tie their best constructors finish in 2018.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just realized. Sorry, that cut me. If I edit it and you had no idea there was a cut there, I had to edit a cut there. If I didn't, man, I don't want to edit that cut. Just like added so much more work. Second star of the weekend is Oscar Piastri. Despite a horrible qualifying, he managed to rip through the field 9 or 10 places. 9 places, I believe.
9 places.
Yeah, good race. It's like Oscar is actually a pretty good fucking little racer there.
I get the feeling that we've swapped our 2 and 1, but my second star is going to be Carlos Sainz. You said it right earlier. I was like, this is his race. He ran away with it. Smooth operator does it again, taking home the top prize. Pushes Ferrari ever so closer to their own top prize. First in the Constructors' Championship, which I feel like I've talked about a lot as of late, which really sounds like, Ferrari fangirl and whatnot. It's a feat that's not been accomplished for 16 years.
Mamma mia.
So like the 1980s, right? No, that's 2008 was 16 years ago. I hope every single one of you that were born in the 1990s or earlier feels so old right now, because I do.
Why does my back and hip just hurt now?
It's the cold.
The cold, it's fucking 90 degrees out there today in October. I'm not sure about that.
But yeah.
The Earth is dying.
For someone who's going to be at a different team next year, he's been giving it his all. I love it.
Which kind of, he's like, man, we have really good form here. Kind of sucks I won't be here for it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he's like, man, I should really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Looking back, looking at Alex's fucking wrecked up Williams, like...
It's like, oh no. Hey, but look at it on the bright side, Carlos. There's only ever one bad driver at Williams at a time.
It's proud, and ever since Franco Colapinto showed up, maybe your teammate might be the bad one. While Franco goes and races with Yuki at RB, apparently, or whatever.
I actually kind of hope. I was like, that would be.
I would like to see.
impressive.
I mean, Franco's done good. He deserves a seat. But
Absolutely.
But
Here we go, pushing for a rookie to get pushed in too soon.
Yeah.
Nah. Anyways.
So we kind of swapped. Mine was just Ferrari in general for the number 1 star because they still did good overall weekend. Even when Charles had his moment and lost his P2, they're still like instantly be like, okay, nope, we're going fastest lap. We're going to at least get you a point. We're going to pip the point. Like, just be ready for that, Charles. We're going to bring you in. You know what to do. So, Ferrari not screwing up strategy is always a good thing. So,
Woohoo!
So Ferrari in general. I know it's like 4 weeks in a row I've had like 2 stars that have just been teams, but and it's our point system. So
Fuck you.
Screw it. Yeah.
My number 1 is Oscar Piastri. I kind of feel like everyone sort of forgot about him this week. Like, oh, we've got Carlos running away with it. We've got Max and Lando fighting it out. We've got Sergio that's doing poorly. We've got the 2 that crashed out the beginning of the race. We got Nando. It's his 400th race. All this, that, and the other. Oscar Piastri, 9 places up to finish in the points in P8. Which, granted, P8.
4 points.
Not great. It's 4 points. It's 4 points that
Keeps
McLaren
him in
definitely needs. Yeah. Keeps them in the lead. Keeps him in P4. So, yeah. Oscar Piastri.
Sometimes having a quiet race is a good thing.
Yeah. Lance Stroll.
Yeah, the best races are when we forget Lance exists.
Exactly.
That's when he's like, oh, he got a point. Wow.
Wow, Wow, Lance in the top 10? Wow, okay.
Wow, we had 11 DNFs. How does that work? The safety car is even better than Lance Stroll. Alrighty. Rundown.
Your rundown for the Mexico City Grand Prix. Your first place finisher, who also started first, Carlos Sainz. Second place was Lando, who gained 1 position. Third place was Charles Leclerc, who also gained 1 position and got the fastest lap, so 1 extra point for him. That threw me off on some calculations earlier, but, all good. P4 was Lewis Hamilton, who gained 2 positions. George Russell started 5th, finished 5th, so good job to him. 6th place was Max Verstappen, who lost 4 places from his start. Kevin Magnussen finished P7, gained nothing, lost nothing, but hey, finishing in the points is a good thing for Haas. P8, Oscar Piastri, who gained 9 positions. Everything from here down is a lap down. So even within the top 10, we had cars that were a lap down plus.
Crazy.
Yeah. I say plus. Everyone was only a lap down.
Yeah, there were at least no doubles.
Yeah, no double laps. Though the first one to get doubled would not have been great. Anyways, P9 was Nico Hülkenberg, who gained a position from his start in P10. Pierre Gasly loses 2 positions to finish P10. Number 10, right? Pierre? Number 10?
Yes.
Okay. So the P10 for car 10. I was going to say it, and I was like, is that him or is that someone else? P11, Lance Stroll gained 3 positions, so yeah, kind of a quiet race for him, even though he had that little spat with Checo. Franco Colapinto gained 4 positions to finish P12. Impressive. Biased. P13 was Esteban Ocon, who did gain 7 positions to finish there, although only 4 of them were on merit, but also still.
Damage.
Valtteri Bottas gained a position to finish P14, still 23rd in a 20-driver grid. So, 15th was Zhou Guanyu, who gained 4 positions. Liam Lawson, P16, lost 4 positions to finish there. Sergio Perez finished P17, gaining 1 position to finish there. Due to Fernando Alonso losing 5 with his DNF, retired due to the overheating due to an object in the radiator duct. P19 DNF, Alex losing 10 positions, and Yuki P20 DNF losing 9 due to their collision lap 1, turn 1. Technically turn 0. They hadn't entered the turn yet.
Yeah, they were still in the straight.
I think Yuki was entering the turning portion of it, and Alex had not yet. But that's under the bridge. We're done with that. That's the week. Yeah. Mexico City. Next week, the non-Spanish speaking country in South America, Brazil.
Yeah. How's your Portuguese?
I have never spoken a word of Portuguese in my life, so we're not doing that bit next week. At least I'm not. If you know Portuguese, more power to you. But
if they bring back the South Korean GP, then we're good. But
next
even
year,
that,
maybe.
I kind of swapped. I think I did hear they were trying to get another race back. So maybe 2027 or something like that.
God, can we have France back?
Not at Paul Ricard.
Please. Please, I love the track. It looks so cool.
But it's boring.
Oh, it's boring. Yeah, you know what else is boring? Monaco. Guess what's still on the fucking calendar?
Monaco.
Exactly. Guess what's always going to be on the calendar?
Spa, for some reason. Not for some reason. Spa's fine.
But yeah, Spa's fine. It just needed to be moved around. It needed to not be in the middle of the rainy season.
Yeah. Down to Brazil next weekend. These were some
Going to
interesting
Brazil.
times to me, looking at it, because I've updated our thing. Plus 3 hours. But I guess we're 3 hours behind Sao Paulo.
I was going to say Sao Paulo.
Yeah, I did that when I was typing, when I was writing on the board too. I typed San. I'm like, what the fuck?
It suddenly became Spanish for a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. A.
1 p.m. quali and 11 a.m. GP.
Yeah.
And a 9 a.m. sprint.
11 a.m. Grand Prix. Wow. B. Plus 3 hours just doesn't feel right, but like I guess that's on the.
According to the F1 app.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I assume that it's on the eastern side, because it does extend far past like the eastern time zone for the U.S. So I get it if it is on the eastern side.
Yeah, but Brazil's usually a good race. It's actually one where a sprint race is makes the most sense, honestly.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. I think Sao Paulo should always be a sprint race.
Yep.
As awful as it is to have a sprint race at any race, this is one to have it.
Yep. Also, hey, random rant. Here's my one rant because, hey, remember I said we'll keep it under 30? Hour right now. Now, some of that is being taken out, obviously, but hey, why don't they make yellow dry race markers?
I mean, because most boards are white, and it's kind of hard to see it on there.
Yeah, but I had to use orange for the Brazilian flag. It just doesn't look. It looks weird.
It looks brown.
Yeah. So, whatever. Yep. One thing we never do, I'm going to do this week, is talk to the Dear podcast listener of like, because I always find it annoying, but it does help. We are trying to grow our podcast and more listeners. So please, on your traditional platforms, I believe we should be on Apple. I've never been able to confirm that, but we're for sure on Spotify. Do all the rating stuff. Word of mouth is the biggest thing for podcasts. So if you have any F1 friends, if you're a Lando Norris fan, recommend to your other Lando Norris fans and listen to us and let it drive your hatred.
Tell them to come to YouTube, listen to the podcast, listen to the awful takes that we have. Leave a comment down in the comments section about how angry you are,
how wrong we are,
how wrong we are about it, about how wrong he is about it. I'm Lando's okay-ish. I'm very much on the side of Lando's a little piece of shit right now, but he's the one with the burning hatred. I think leave him some hate.
I think
mail.
the general consensus is Lando got a PR person who's actually doing some good work with Lando. So
no, absolutely.
No, I think I think my main target is on Zach Brown now. But yeah, no, tell me how wrong I am. So by commenting and everything. So like I said, I hate that. Even when we did YouTube, I don't think we ever did that. Or in the old podcast we had before this. Good luck finding that, guys. I don't think we ever did it, but it'd be nice. We want to keep doing this. We don't. You've never heard an ad. We don't have sponsorships. Yeah. No. Except for today, we're sponsored by Raid. No.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Liquid Death. We are expecting sponsorships.
Please.
Actually, reach out to us. We'll tell you go sponsor Ray first. And then
absolutely. I was like, that man literally religiously drinks Eagles drinks. Just sponsor him first. And then whenever you find out that was such a good investment, come sponsor us.
Yep. For Not As Poor to help cut down some of that profit so you don't have to pay so much taxes.
Exactly.
We can be your money hole. All right. So, I mean, plus side of recording the podcast a day late, it's one less day before the next race.
Yippee! It's even one more less because it's going to be a sprint weekend, so
True.
yay!
I know. I might just leave work at like noon on Friday. Hey, I gotta go do something. Go sprint quali. So I will say one weird scheduling thing because this is definitely the season of weird schedules. So we have Brazil. We have 2 weeks off, and then we have triple header to finish it out. Which, locking up those airline miles because it's Vegas, so still here in the States, stay on this side, and then over to Qatar. And, of course, everybody's least favorite, Abu Dhabi.
Can we just have Interlagos as the season ender again.
Forget countbacks. If it's tied after that, we go back to Interlagos for a sprint.
Yeah. Sprint race with just the ones that are tied.
And the ones
Not even a sprint race. Do the old F1 video game thing. Five laps.
no, the top 2 that are tied, and then the bottom 5. And if any of the bottom 5s finish above, they automatically win the championship.
Yes.
There we go. And
Imagine,
then do your
though,
rookie,
the
and then do your
sandbagging.
rookie race. Yeah. I mean, come on, Valtteri, world champion. All right, there's our rambles. I don't think there's anything else besides, hashtag justice for hero. We'll see you next time. I don't know why I whispered. It's so weird.
I'm not going to whisper. Have a good week.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod. And follow the crew at Medic50 and at GoaluCody30.